What is the vision? So we can see different elements. So we can see the really baseline or the minimum viable product for us, which is an order book experience that is purely on-chain, on Starknet, and something that allows order book trading. So this is like the minimum viable product we see, and this is what we aim to deliver first. But this is not the only thing we are aiming for. The ambition is way bigger and has really great potential. As we know, Starknet at some point in time is going to connect the Ethereum and Bitcoin ecosystems, and we would love to become the trading hub connecting actually those ecosystems directly on Starknet, right? Because if it's going to connect, then why not leverage that and be actually the first ones to allow for that?
Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the Star Cafe, the podcast show where we interview the most interesting projects and personalities from the Starknet ecosystem. Today, we have a very special guest, Nicolas from RemusDex, a new order book DEX, which is going live on Starknet very soon, or maybe it is already live by the time you will be watching this episode. So, hello, Nicolas. Welcome to the Star Cafe. How are you?
Hello. Pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to introduce you and our guests to our project RemusDex. We are currently building and aiming to release soon.
Really excited to see how also the demo that you will be doing will work out. And well, Nicolas, you are not new in the ecosystem. If I remember well, you had been helping also the team at Carmine for a while, the options trading, decentralized trading platform that has been working and building on Starknet for a couple of years already. And then you also, you guys pinned this news project called RemusDex a little time ago. And before going deeper into RemusDex, I think it would be great to have a short introduction about yourself so that our community can know you better. And also, we would like to know the vision behind the Remus.
Sure. So don't worry, I won't give my full LinkedIn resume, but rather shortly. I have a background in economics, finance, mathematics, statistics, basically numbers and a little business around that. My career started in investment banking as a quant. So I joined the Central European Investment Bank, the prop trading department, where we were market making, day trading. And what was really interesting and what I really enjoyed was that this was done via a custom-built trading platform. So we were building actually our platform to run the trades. And so we traded equities in Central Europe and Turkey. This was really interesting, fascinating, but was really a very narrow focus. So after a few years, I was tempted by the idea. So I might be also looking for something else. And then I dived into the world of startups, where I joined a very big company that was building startups for other super big companies like banks, insurance companies, utilities, and stuff like that. So I spent some time there building startups within that across different industries, different use cases. So this was really interesting, but it was a big variety. So it was something like your head might explode after. And then I got a call from Marek from Carmine Options, and he told me, hey, so why don't you go back to your roots and try to have a look in trading? But this time it will be actually on blockchain. And he told me about Carmine Options, and I was really fascinated. Wow, so now actually we are not doing that for a bank, but actually it's you building that. That's great. And also it's decentralized. So then it was like really interesting to see like the architecture and how that was built. So I quickly said yes and joined the guys. And so I helped them with operations, business development, and so that's actually how I joined the Starknet ecosystem. And that's how I got there basically. And after my job actually was done there, that's how I actually joined Remus or created Remus.
Created Remus, right? Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing your very inspiring background. I mean, it is very impressive. And I think we, as a Starknet ecosystem, we should regard ourselves very lucky to have also people like you and Marek himself, who has a very deep knowledge about markets, financial markets, and also we take advantage to say hello to our friend Marek, and therefore it's also it's a very precious contribution that you guys have been giving to our ecosystem in terms of experience, and now we are all trying to turn also this experience into something valuable for the on-chain world and for Starknet precisely. And yeah, so I think we can start digging around Remus. First of all, we can start with a brief introduction about Remus. How was it born, and what is its vision, and then we'll start with the demo.
Nice. So okay, so to get an idea how actually Remus was born, we should go back to end of fall 2024. By that time, I finished my tasks within Carmine, and I had time to look around. So during that time, I was trading. I spoke also to other friends who wanted to build stuff. We talked, we brainstormed, and we wanted to see what was our next chapter. And then just this idea popped out. There isn't an actual order book, decentralized trading exchange on Starknet. And as we really like trading, we didn't want to bridge. We saw a big opportunity in the technology of Starknet, actually. So we thought, wait, that's a pretty interesting idea. So why don't we dig it more and see if that's feasible? What we really liked about Starknet was the low gas fees, the high throughput, and the composability. So around Starknet, you can see many different DeFi projects, infrastructure projects, tooling that can be taken as building blocks, such as like Lego, and you can build a Starship out of that. So that was really fascinating, and we wanted to actually discover more whether this would make sense. So again, like we talked with people from our network and tried to see what could be actually carved out of that. And then we realized, well, building a DEX is actually not that complex if you manage to break it down into several building blocks and then assemble it. So we thought of it, and hey, so what should be the structure? And basically, it's a smart contract that is actually running the decentralized exchange at the basis. Then a backend to also allow for integrations and manage all that as a backbone. And then on top of that or around that, a nice and user-friendly front end or interface to actually allow users to integrate with that. But furthermore, what is also interesting, again, we spoke about composability, is that we also want to open this for other projects so that they can actually build on top of that. And that is something I would like to uncover later when speaking about market making. In terms of vision, what is the vision? So we can see different elements. So we can see the really baseline or the minimum viable product for us, which is an order book experience that is purely on-chain, on Starknet, and something that allows order book trading. So this is like the minimum viable product we see, and this is what we aim to deliver first. But this is not the only thing we are aiming for. The ambition is way bigger and has a really great potential. As we know, Starknet at some point in time is going to connect the Ethereum and Bitcoin ecosystems, and we would love to become the trading hub connecting actually those ecosystems directly on Starknet, right? Because if it's going to connect, then why not leverage that and be actually the first ones to allow for that? And then within this vision, we can see several different components that are here to strengthen it. So we try to put a lot of emphasis on a security-first approach, and this comes with this is a matter of trust, but also it's like I don't know like how to describe it, but for us it's the essential thing and a matter of trust. So if we are not secure and people don't believe it, well, we don't have any users, right? So as I said, like this comes hand to hand with composability, because we started bringing this smart contract, and the first thing we did after building this was having it audited. And not only we had it audited, but also we want to be fully transparent, and you don't have to trust us. You can just take a look at our audit report at our website within the documentation. So that's also important for us to be able to prove that we are secure. Another important aspect of the vision is that we focus on a trader user experience first approach. We don't want our users to fight with some like stuff that is not working properly or face significant delays and have something that is unclear. So basically, yes, that's another important aspect. And last but not least, if we want to have an exchange, we must have liquidity, right? So we did when we had our first smart contract version deployed on testnet. It was really fun to play around. So we are putting our orders, but yeah, so it was not ready for any launch, because without liquidity, it's like pointless. So that's also another important aspect.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a very promising vision. Thanks a lot. And I have some spontaneous question, like you've been hinting at the fact that you would also implement. You also hinted at the fact that you would also integrate Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin network, once it is able to settle on Starknet as well, right? Through thanks to OPCAP. And I was wondering, obviously we are speaking about, the medium term, right? So we still have a lot of months to see that unfold. But at the same time, I was wondering when that happens, when that scenario becomes available, how will it look like to trade on platforms like Remus, for example? There will be two different interface, one for Starknet that settles on Ethereum, and the other one for on Starknet that settles on Bitcoin, or just from the perspective of the trader, everything will be abstracted, right? And then the liquidity will be kind of mixed.
It's a good question, and thank you for this one. I think it's a way to go. So there is long time to go, and at this stage, it's difficult to predict what the technology would allow us. But as I said, the key focus for us is the user experience. So we would love to have it abstracted and have the user like not knowing what is actually done, and just be able to no. That's wrong. Actually, I want the user know actually really well what is done, but I don't want him to mind, hey, so do I need to switch here, there, or no, this should be done in the background, and he should be just comfortable trading and yeah, don't have to switch and like care about these things. That's our ambition. But of course, we don't know how the implementation would look like and what the technology would allow us. So maybe at some point in time, our first version would be that they might need to do some tweaks, switching around, but the ultimate goal would be to have it super smooth.
That's great. Okay, so my dear friends, I think it's time to start our demo part. So let me share the screen. So here we have Remus. The word is yours. Nicolas, drive us through.
Thank you. So welcome to our hidden and still in testing mainnet version. So be aware that it's still something we are fine tuning and trying to tweak some of the final stuff we would love to have. We can see that the UI is a typical centralized exchange, something we are already used to. So we have a graph element at the left side. Then we have the order book with the displayed liquidity. Then we have a panel to place orders. And then below that, we have a dashboard to show the open orders and the orders history. These are our own orders. So this is something that I'm connected to with my wallet. And then below the order book, I have the realized trades. So just be aware that this is something we are still testing. So the trades there are done only by us who are testing that. What is interesting to see? So as I was mentioning, liquidity is one of the key components. And this is something I would like to highlight, that with our partners from Avenue, we managed to bring that liquidity within Remus. One of the key aspects is composability, as I mentioned. So instead of actually bringing the liquidity ourselves, which is something that is very complicated and requires a lot of time. And we will be doing that, and we are actually doing that. But there is a first quick win, that is that why don't actually leverage the liquidity that is on the Starknet ecosystem within the AMMs. So this is something we managed to do thanks to our friends at Avenue. And this is the order book we can actually see right now in this part of the UI. Currently, I should mention that this is the Starknet USDC trading pair, and these are the prices. We can actually place two different types of orders. So we have the limit order and the market order. The market order is something very similar to the swapping UI we are currently used to on AMMs. So if you want to buy directly right now at this point, you can fill in the amount, fill in eventually the slippage so that you control the maximum price, and just press the button and buy. But what is furthermore interesting for us traders is the possibility to buy with limit order books. So I won't make a big analysis where I would like to buy it, but let's just say that I would like to buy my Stark tokens around like 0.20, 2010. Yeah, I might see a support here, so I want to place orders here. I see that I already have an order here for this. I'm buying 100 Starks. But let's say I would like to add more because, well, I'm not sure whether the market would correct downwards to this value. So let's make sure that I can put another orders around, let's say, 2020. No, 2020, and let's buy 50 Starks. And yeah, so let's just take a look at the order book. So here's my 100 Starks. And yeah, let's go for 2020 and let's press buy. Now you cannot see it, but I have a notification within my wallet asking for confirming this order. So I'm confirming that. And then we can see that this is submitting the order. And yeah, if we give it some time, it will just appear within the order book. So see, 2020, I have my 50 Starks order here. And yeah, within a few seconds, I'll be able to see that within my open orders, hopefully. This is, by the way, some stuff that we are trying to figure out how to make it faster. Because as I mentioned, this is something, the pure beauty of that is that everything, every quote is actually written on the blockchain. So this is the really nice thing. And we are leveraging the technology we're leveraging on Starknet. Actually, it's all these transactions are listed on Starknet. Yeah, so now I have my order here. I have my 50 Starks, and let's see if the market goes there. But it's a way of cautiously trading, right? So I don't want to buy directly now, constantly taking a look at the market and then buying instantaneously. But I would rather take a more reserved and patient approach, placing orders and waiting. And well, since I have this, well, I can also take profits, right? So here you can see that I have already 5 Starks on 0.28 price level. But let's say I want to do it, so maybe a bit earlier, around 25. So I can put a sell order, 0.25, or let's put a bit earlier, so 24.9, 50 Starks. Again, I'm clicking sell. I'm confirming my transaction, submitting the order, and it should be there within seconds. We just won't be able to see it within the order book because it's filled already with the orders here, so we won't be able to see it, but now we can see it within the open orders. But in case I want to cancel something, there is nothing easier. I just can press canceling order button. I confirm the transaction, and the transaction should get deleted.
Very cool.
And last but not least, as I mentioned, there is a smart contract handling these trades. When I place an order like that, I will have to claim my tokens. So here I see that I was selling my Stark and my orders got filled. So I will be claiming my orders. So nothing easier than press again claim, confirm my wallet transaction. I can also claim my 2 Starks, and those will soon arrive on my wallet. In the future, this is something, so this constant confirmation of orders is something that can be easily solved by session keys, a feature on Starknet allowing that, yeah, so I just log into my my application and then I can do all the trading without actually having to confirm all the time, which is particularly cool. And thanks, guys, for this feature. That's a big shout out to you. Yeah, so I guess that's a quick walk through the app. Just in case you find the bug, we have a report a bug button, so feel free to get in touch. We are here to solve it, and we'll do as much as we can to take a look at it and ideally fix it, and let this be fully as you like it.
I really like Remus UX, Nicolas, and also what a very good tour that you made for us. And I have some questions. Like maybe you also said the answers already, but maybe I missed them. But so you are using Avenue as a source of liquidity for the time being. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. And also, it seemed to me that, for example, when you take profits. Have I understood right that you also get your profits? You can get your profits in the underlying token, like it happens, for example, in centralized derivative exchanges, like for example Bybit, where for example if you trade USDC ETH, you can also decide to, for example, when you leverage, you make a leverage trade where you like where you long Ethereum. You can also decide to get the rewards, the profits in Ethereum.
So
is this something?
I'm not sure if I mentioned that and if I explained it clearly, but we are a spot decentralized exchange. So it's technically it's not rewards. Actually, I'm doing swaps basically, right? So I'm swapping USDC for Stark. So I'm buying Stark and I'm receiving Stark token for my USDC. But then again, we are aiming to add perpetuals, and there it could be a very interesting features, like to have the possibility to select between the tokens in which I want to have my rewards. And that's definitely a really good point and a nice feature we'd love to add as well.
Great. And yeah, the rest is very clear to me, and really looking forward to making some good trades. And yeah, I think I will try it, if not today, tomorrow, and really looking forward to it. So would you like to add something on? Maybe we can have a look at the portfolio section. What do you think?
The portfolio section is still something we are working on, so it's still in progress. We would love to have more added, like dashboards and statistics, but it's still work in progress. And yeah, I would love to share more, but there is not much to be seen yet.
What about also sharing the sections below, like FAQs, docs? I can also see there's also a report a bug window, so maybe you can share the docs.
Yeah, for the docs, this is the documentation. So let's switch into that. The documentation is mostly regarding the smart contract, so how it works. So it's mostly for our potential partners. As I mentioned, this is particularly relevant because what we are currently doing is actually onboarding a market maker. So someone who would provide more liquidity. And this is for those developers so that they can interact easily. So we have the introduction, key features, architecture. Well, I don't want to bore you too much with the details, but what is worth mentioning and seeing is that here we have, as I mentioned, our audit report. And many thanks to the guys from CodeSpect for this. It has been a pleasure working with them. It was fast, and also it was a good cooperation. They managed to highlight stuff. So yeah.
That's great also, because as we all know, security has always been a priority, but now we know that we have to fight very professional hackers, so we need to always to enhance the most successful security measures in order to avoid hacks as much as possible. So it's great to see that you underwent a good audit. And yes, so thanks a lot for the demo once again, Nicolas. And I think before closing this Stack Cafe, it would be great to know a bit more about the upcoming developments that we'll be seeing at Remus. First of all, obviously, when mainnet for everybody, and then also what are you planning in terms of developments, partnerships? Tell us what you can share.
Great. Yeah. So before actually sharing what is going next, maybe I can give a quick recap what has been done for you to know. So we have a beta, or we have a testing version on mainnet. We are currently refining and also seeing with a few testers from the ecosystem to refine it. So this is something we are currently doing. We are audited. We have partially the liquidity within RemusDex, so it's not full yet. It's in progress to be fully finalized. Then we are onboarding a market maker to put even more liquidity and to attract further market makers. So to make it really big, because that's also important from this perspective. What else? We are also fine-tuning the UX. So this is something we're still trying to tweak a little and make it super comfortable for the user. It's a fascinating piece of technology. So we are actually running it on the blockchain, which comes also with maybe sometimes different approaches than we are used to on regular backends. So it's something different we still need to solve and ensure the same user experience as on centralized exchanges. So sometimes we need to look around and actually dig a bit deeper to find the right solution. But yeah, what's next? So I would say launch. This is something that would happen quite soon. Then we want to onboard the liquidity, so the market makers. What would be great also to add, and we need to also investigate, would be the session keys, as I mentioned. So something that would allow us to go around these constant confirmations with the wallet.
Like and also implementing a cartridge, for example, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And eventually perps, perpetuals, spot leverage. We would also aim for more DeFi composability. We would also love to have options, for example, with our friends from Carmine, try to think something out. And yeah, so the bottom line is basically we're not here to be just another decentralized exchange. We are here to make Starknet the best trading chain on DeFi, right? So with all the liquidity, so that's our ambition. Also, how we want to get there is not competing within the Starknet ecosystem. We think that it's way better to actually join forces and deliver a better product. So we could see it in our approach with AMMs. So we don't want to like take the users from AMMs. We just want to actually leverage the liquidity and attract even more users
to those
for this. So that's I think a really strong story. But yeah, so that's, and also one more important thing, speaking of communities, is that we also aim to launch a Discord. So when our community is growing, and we would also love to launch a Discord when it's a bit bigger. So that would be also one more thing to add to the list.
That's great. So for the time being, I think that people can start following you on Twitter, following the Remus Twitter account. I think I can share it here as well. Maybe.
Oh, that would be great. And by the way, I would like to give a big shout out to our community, all the people that are actually sharing information about us, creating content, and like mentioning us. This is really great. Thank you guys for this early support. We really value that, and it's really important to us. And and when I'm sending actually regards, I would also like to send regards to our friends from Avenue and our friends from Carmine, who are our really valued partners helping us, and without whom I'm not sure how we would have done that so fast, and if so. So yeah, big thanks guys for this. And yeah.
That's great, Nicolas. You've been doing great during this episode. No worries, and thanks a lot for your contribution, for your hard work. And Remus looks very, very promising. So really excited to see what comes next. And I wish you all the best, to you, to your team, also to the Carmine family, big family. And yeah, so thanks a lot once again. Really hope to see you very soon at the Star Cafe. And yeah. Thanks a lot. And obviously, at the same time, thanks a lot to the audience. And I would like to remind you that nothing we said here was financial advice. Obviously, crypto is risky and you should be very, very careful. And having said that, thanks a lot once again for watching. Thanks a lot once again to Nicolas for coming, and see you next time.
Thank you very much for having me, and see you around Starknet.
See you around Starknet. See you. Bye.
Bye.